Welcome back to the deep dive. This is where we take those huge stacks of information, all the noise out there, and we try to pull out the real gems, the things you actually need to know.
Yeah, distill it down.
Exactly. And today, we're focusing on something pretty exciting. Travel. Specifically, where should you be thinking about for 2026?
It's a big question, isn't it? Planning travel these days.
Yeah.
Wow, it's just information overload. Everywhere you look, there's another list, another recommendation.
Totally.
But thankfully, our source material today gives us a bit of a shortcut. It's this really well-curated list, it seems pretty definitive actually, of the 15 best global destinations that are really expected to shine next year. So they've kind of done the hard part for us.
Okay, good. Because we're not just here to read off famous landmarks, or anyone can Google the Eiffel Tower or the Colosseum.
Right.
Our mission today is to get underneath that. Why these places? Why now for 2026? What are the cultural shifts happening? Are there specific, sustainable tourism things we should know about? Unique experiences. That's the goal.
And that's what really jumps out from these reports, actually.
Yeah.
The whole definition of travel seems to be shifting. It's moved way beyond just, ticking off sites. Now it's framed much more around deep cultural immersion, like really getting under the skin of a place, tasting local flavors, not just the generic stuff, but the really regional dishes.
Yeah.
Connecting with actual people, you know, and consciously trying to create memories that genuinely change your perspective a bit.
That sounds more meaningful. Intentional.
Exactly. Intentionality, that's the word. And that kind of mandate, it really raises the bar for the destinations we're about to talk about. They have to deliver on that deeper level.
Okay, sounds fascinating. Let's get into it. We've taken this list of 15, and to make sense of it all, we've grouped them into 4 themes. Logical, hopefully digestible.
Good idea.
So we're starting with section 1. The pillars of culture and gastronomy, thinking mainly about those, historical and culinary giants in Europe and Asia, and kicking things off, maybe unsurprisingly, at the very top of this global list, Japan. Japan.
It comes up again and again, doesn't it? And I think it's because it has this incredible ability to be both incredibly ancient and hyper-futuristic at the same exact time.
That's precisely it. It is the ultimate contrast, and that contrast is, frankly, its biggest selling point. You look at Tokyo.
Right. Neon lights, skyscrapers.
Absolutely. Just pulsing with energy, cutting-edge technology everywhere. It feels like the future. But then you hop on a train, maybe head towards Kyoto.
And it's completely different.
Totally different world. Suddenly you're surrounded by centuries of history, these incredibly serene temples, the meticulously kept gardens, those ancient tea ceremonies.
Yeah.
And that transition, how seamless it is, often just a short train ride away. That's what makes Japan feel so unique. You can literally step between millennia.
And beyond just the look of the place, the source material really digs into seasonality. Obviously, cherry blossom season gets a lot of attention.
Of course, it's iconic. Those pink petals everywhere, it's visually stunning, those pictures are everywhere. But we need to go deeper, especially on the food, because Japan's culinary scene is just, wow, it's so diverse.
And that's where this drive for authenticity really comes in. Travelers aren't just looking for the standard sushi or ramen anymore, the stuff they can get back home.
Right, they want the real deal.
Exactly. The report specifically mentioned this search for regional specialties. For instance, Hiroshima-style okonomiyaki.
Okonomiyaki, okay. What makes the Hiroshima style special?
Well, see, that's the nugget of knowledge, right? It's in the detail. Unlike the Osaka style, where everything's kind of mixed together, in Hiroshima, they layer it. Cabbage, pork, maybe some noodles, egg. The noodles are often a distinct layer. Seeking out that specific regional version, that shows you the kind of deep dive travelers are looking for in 2026. The food is a primary motivator, but it's about the specific, authentic, local version.
That focus on regional authenticity makes sense. It ties into what the sources say about the atmosphere, too, wanting to engage with seasonal festivals, visiting the onsens, the natural hot springs. It suggests the ideal trip isn't just rushing between famous sites. It's more about tapping into the local rhythm, understanding those regional differences, finding those natural wellness spots that are just inherently Japanese.
And that's really why Japan is leading the pack here. You can tailor a trip that feels incredibly personal, deeply culturally enriching, just by playing with those contrasts. From the super-fast bullet train 1 minute to sitting quietly in a temple garden the next.
Okay, fascinating start. Now let's move west a bit to some classic European heavyweights, Italy and France.
The classics. Always popular.
Always. They're fixtures on any travel list. But the reason they're ranking so high for 2026, according to the sources, seems to be this really strategic modern focus. They're doubling down on sustainability and managing authenticity.
Let's unpack Italy first. I mean, it's just breathtaking. The sheer weight of art and history is incredible. You've got Rome, obviously the Colosseum, the Forum. You have to see them.
Of course.
Then Venice, the canals. Yes, it can be crowded, but honestly, taking a gondola ride, it's still pretty magical.
Can imagine.
And then you've got the total change of pace in Tuscany, those rolling hills, the vineyards, olive groves, the tiny ancient villages. Just beautiful rustic charm.
That paints a great picture. But here's the 2026 angle, the trend. This strong emphasis on sustainable tourism, boutique stays, and really authentic local experiences. It feels like they're actively trying to manage the impact of tourism.
I think that's exactly what it is. It's a strategic shift. Italy has always struggled with that balance, right? Huge demand versus preserving these incredible places. So now they're intentionally trying to make the charm more accessible, but in a smarter way. Through how and where people stay.
So boutique stays, what does that actually mean on the ground?
Often, it refers to the rise of agriturismo, basically converting working farms or old historical estates into accommodations.
Ah, okay. Farm stays.
Yeah, exactly. They're usually small-scale, run by locals, deeply integrated into the region. You get a real taste of local life, amazing regional food. And crucially, it pulls visitors away from the big, potentially overcrowded city centers and chain hotels.
Right. It's a way to spread the economic benefits too, isn't it? And get tourism income into more rural areas.
Precisely. It feels like a conscious effort to nudge travelers beyond just Rome, Florence, Venice. And of course, underpinning it all is the food. You still go for the incredible fresh pasta, the amazing regional gelato. That's still fundamental.
The food is the hook.
Always. The food is your way into the culture, and maybe the boutique stay is your way into authentic daily life.
Okay, now France. Also a giant. Culture, history, and maybe above all, gastronomy. Paris is the gateway. Obviously, Eiffel Tower, Louvre, you have to do it.
You do.
But the sources seem to highlight the depth you find outside Paris. In the regions like Provence or Normandy, the French Riviera.
Yes. And what defines France's appeal for 2026 is this sort of unwavering commitment to combining luxury, relaxation, and guaranteed authenticity. And they seem to be channeling this mainly through very specialized food and wine tours.
So leaning into their absolute strengths.
Doubling down, making sure that experience is high quality but also responsible. They're promoting cultural festivals too, and clearly structured sustainable tourism options. It feels like they're catering to travelers who want that curated, responsible, but still deeply luxurious experience. It's about savoring, not just rushing.
Interesting. If you connect Italy and France, then it sounds like both are kind of refining their classic appeal by focusing on quality, responsibility, using smaller local experiences to keep things authentic, even as travel ramps up again.
That's a great way to put it. They're explicitly choosing depth over just sheer breadth, I think, addressing that demand for quality.
Okay, let's shift south now to the Iberian Peninsula. Spain and Portugal, they offer something quite different, don't they? A more laid-back vibe, but still incredibly vibrant.
Definitely. Spain is just, wow, the diversity, architecturally, culturally. You've got Barcelona with Gaudi's unique, almost surreal buildings.
Unmistakable.
And Madrid with its huge world-class art museums like the Prado. And then you go south to Andalusia and see the legacy of the Moors in places like the Alhambra in Granada. Just staggering. It's like walking through centuries of blended cultures.
And the lifestyle itself is a huge draw, right? The whole tapas culture, the passion of flamenco, the beaches, the festivals.
Absolutely magnetic. And for 2026, the specific trend highlighted is this rise in popularity for cultural immersion tours and very local culinary experiences.
Okay, so again, moving beyond the superficial tourist stuff.
Critically so. It signals a move away from just, the big bus tours ticking off sites. Travelers want genuine interaction. Finding that amazing neighborhood taberna that's not in the guidebook, maybe taking a cooking class, focusing on specific regional ingredients, seeking out experiences that connect them directly with Spanish culture, away from the main tourist squares. Sources suggest there's real investment in developing these hyper-local tours.
Makes sense. And Portugal, right next door, similar historical depth, but a distinct feel, the sources say. Ancient cities, rugged coastline.
And feeling very connected to the sea, I think. Lisbon is just captivating, those narrow, winding streets, the colorful azulejo tiles everywhere, hopping on those old historic trams. It has kind of romantic, almost melancholic feel sometimes. Then Porto, up north, with its beautiful riverside setting, and of course the port wine cellars. And then you've got the Algarve in the south, dramatic cliffs, Golden beaches, very popular for sun seekers.
And the trend for Portugal in 2026, what's the focus?
It's an enhanced focus on culinary tours, traditional fado music performances, and cultural festivals showcasing local arts and crafts.
Photo music, that sounds specific. What's the takeaway there?
Fado is really important here. For anyone unfamiliar, it's kind of the soul music of Portugal. Very expressive, often quite sad or melancholic, full of this feeling of longing or fate they call saudade.
Ah, saudade. I've heard that word.
By highlighting performances in small, traditional casas de fado, not big concert halls, Portugal is encouraging travelers to connect directly with its emotional core, its heritage. It really reinforces that theme of regional specifics and deep cultural connection we saw in Japan and Spain, too.
Okay, so summing up this first section, Japan, Italy, France, Spain, Portugal, the big takeaway for 2026 seems to be less about discovering brand new landmarks and more about deepening the experience through local immersion, authentic experiences, often with a sustainable angle.
It's all about being intentional, I think. Choosing experiences that offer real connection.
All right, let's shift gears now. Section 2 takes us into a different realm. Countries defined by their vast, dramatic natural landscapes. This section is all about wilderness, adventure, and maybe most importantly, eco-conscious exploration.
Yeah, this is where the scale gets immense.
And kicking this off, there's probably no better example of this commitment to nature than New Zealand.
Absolutely. New Zealand is kind of the ultimate playground for nature enthusiasts, isn't it?
Yeah.
But what always amazes me is the sheer diversity packed into those two main islands.
Right, it's got everything.
Pretty much. You've got the massive snow-capped Southern Alps, which are just stunning. Then you head north and find the geothermal areas like Rotorua, with bubbling mud pools, colorful springs. It feels prehistoric.
Wow.
And then there are the fjords, like Milford Sound, so serene, so majestic, carved by glaciers. It's one of those rare places where you can genuinely experience ice, volcanic activity, and the ocean all in a relatively compact area.
And the activities are built around that landscape, right? Hiking, bungee jumping, they kind of invented it there, didn't they?
They certainly popularized it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hiking, bungee, kayaking in these incredibly pristine waters.
Mm-hmm.
It's an adventurer's dream. But here's the key 2026 trend, according to our sources. It's about responsible travel and deeper cultural connection.
Okay, how so?
The increasing popularity of ecotourism and indigenous Maori cultural experiences is really defining. This isn't just an optional add-on anymore. It signals that travelers are actively choosing to explore responsibly, while connecting with the traditions, the worldview of the Maori people, the indigenous guardians of the land, the Tangata Whenua.
So the adventure becomes more meaningful.
Yeah.
Educational.
Exactly. It becomes a holistic experience.
Yeah.
Respectful engagement with both nature and culture.
The sources also mention those kind of iconic, unique New Zealand moments, don't they? Like stargazing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Under the skies near Lake Takapo, which are famously dark and clear, it's a designated dark sky reserve. And exploring the Waitomo Caves, lit up by thousands of tiny glowworms. Truly, these are experiences you just can't get anywhere else. So it's that blend, high adrenaline adventure, profound natural beauty, but all managed through this lens of sustainability and deep cultural respect. That's why New Zealand stays so strong in this category.
Okay, moving across the globe, let's look at North America, specifically the vastness of Canada.
Another giant in terms of scale.
For sure. Canada offers such incredible variety, from buzzing cosmopolitan cities like Toronto and Vancouver to the sheer wild tranquility of the national parks Banff, Jasper. The list goes on.
And what's really crucial here, highlighted in the source material, is Canada's commitment to integrating sustainability across its huge tourism offering. They're actively promoting eco-friendly travel options alongside the classic activities, wildlife spotting, hiking, skiing, canoeing on pristine lakes.
It's a big country to manage responsibly.
It is. Its size is both a blessing and a challenge. It can offer almost anything to any traveler, but doing it sustainably requires real effort.
And the key 2026 trend here, interestingly, echoes what we just heard about New Zealand. A big push for immersive cultural experiences, specifically including Indigenous heritage tours.
Yes, and this feels like a really significant, powerful shift. It shows that major nations with these incredible natural assets are consciously choosing to weave ethical and historical education right into the travel experience itself.
So what do these tours typically involve?
Often, they're guided visits led by members of the local indigenous communities. They share knowledge about traditional land stewardship, their history, cultural practices, art. It makes the visit so much richer, turning it into something educational as well as adventurous. Canada is positioning its Indigenous heritage as a core part of the travel story, not just a side note.
That's a really positive development. Okay, let's jump over to Iceland now. Fire and ice, geology come alive.
Iceland is just pure geological drama, isn't it? Volcanoes, some very recently active geysers shooting water high into the air, vast glaciers covering huge parts of the country, powerful waterfalls everywhere, those striking black sand beaches.
It sounds otherworldly.
It kind of is. It's like a living textbook on how the planet works. And then, of course, you have the magic of the northern lights in winter.
The aurora borealis.
Yeah, dancing across the sky. And the natural hot springs like the Blue Lagoon, offering this unique geothermal relaxation, even when it's freezing outside.
So for 2026, what's Iceland's focus? Is it also leaning into that eco-conscious traveler?
Heavily. The sources really emphasize the focus on sustainable tourism and unique outdoor experiences. Things like ice caving, exploring inside glaciers, technical glacier hiking, whale watching.
Wow, ice caving sounds intense.
It is, but it's all done with a strong emphasis on minimal impact. Iceland knows its ecosystem is fragile, so it's deliberately attracting travelers who want that awe-inspiring scenery but demand that their trip is eco-friendly. And by offering these high-adventure options, they also capture the thrill seekers, people who want to push their limits but do it responsibly.
Okay, our final pair in this adventure and wilderness section, Australia and South Africa. Two countries known for incredibly diverse ecosystems and definite thrills. Let's start with Australia. Huge place.
Immense, defined by contrasts, really.
Yeah.
You get everything from lush tropical beaches and rainforests in the north, down to the rugged, arid outback in the center.
And iconic sites.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The Great Barrier Reef, obviously a must for divers and snorkelers, though facing significant environmental challenges. You've got the vibrant city life, culture, food scenes in Sydney and Melbourne. And then, deep in the heart of the country, the spiritual monolith of Uluru.
And the 2026 trend for Australia, what are they pushing?
It leans heavily into ecotourism and remote exploration.
Remote exploration. What does that signal?
I think it's significant. It suggests Australia is responding to that desire for more authentic, responsible ways to experience its landscapes, many of which are quite fragile or difficult to access. Remote exploration implies getting away from the main tourist routes on the coast, venturing deeper inland, maybe into the Kimberley or the Flinders Ranges.
Which requires more effort from the traveler.
Definitely. More planning, maybe needing specialized eco-certified tour operators. It's a push towards dispersing tourism responsibly across that massive landmass, getting people beyond the usual spots.
Okay, makes sense. And then South Africa. The sources describe it as offering the complete package. Wildlife, coastlines, cities.
It really does have an incredible mix. Cape Town is stunningly beautiful, nestled between mountains and the sea, with world-class vineyards just nearby. Then you have Kruger National Park for those classic Big Five safaris.
The ultimate safari destination for many.
It really is. But South Africa also caters to the adrenaline junkies, some of the world's highest commercial bungee jumps, shark cage diving, which is carefully regulated, plus amazing hiking along the Garden Road.
Now, here's something interesting. The sources specifically mention that South Africa is marketed as offering this mix in a safe and accessible environment. That feels like it's directly addressing a potential concern for travelers.
It absolutely is, and it's a crucial point. Travelers considering a trip with such diverse elements, cities, remote wilderness, adventure activities, often have safety and logistics top of mind.
So how does the source material back up that claim of safety and accessibility? Is there substance there?
Yes, and this is the key insight. The sources indicate this isn't just marketing talk. It's backed by real investment. They point specifically to things like enhanced tourism safety initiatives in major hubs like Cape Town and Johannesburg. Also, new partnerships between government and private sector to increase direct international flights, making it easier and smoother to get in and around the key areas.
Okay. So concrete steps.
Concrete steps. That commitment to improving safety and accessibility, alongside the sheer drama of the wildlife and landscapes, makes South Africa a really compelling option for that informed adventure traveler in 2026.
Okay, let's move into our third section now. Here we're focusing on destinations that really offer deep historical immersion, very distinctive cultural vibes, and experiences that are centered more on relaxation, wellness, and unique local traditions.
A slightly different pace, perhaps.
Exactly. And we're starting with Greece. Myth, history, and that incredible Mediterranean beauty.
Greece is timeless, isn't it? And its magic lies in the balance it strikes. You have the foundations of Western civilization right there in Athens, the Acropolis, the Parthenon.
Must-sees.
Absolutely. But then you contrast that with the Cycladic islands like Santorini, with those iconic whitewashed villages clinging to cliffs overlooking the blue Aegean, or the huge island of Crete with its own distinct history and amazing beaches, its history meeting this idyllic, slower way of life.
And the food. Another huge draw.
Oh, definitely. Simple, fresh, delicious. Fresh seafood, amazing olives and olive oil, local cheeses like feta.
Yeah.
Eating in Greece is a journey in itself. But beyond the food, the culture stays vibrant through local festivals celebrating music, dance, religious traditions, often tied to the seasons or harvests.
So the 2026 trend for Greece, what kind of traveler is it attracting?
It seems to be strongly appealing to those who want both relaxation and real cultural depth. It's not just about lying on a beach, although you can certainly do that.
Right.
The preferred adventures mentioned are things like sailing the Aegean Sea island hopping, really appreciating the maritime history and the unique character of each island, or heading to the mainland for some serious hiking in the mountains, exploring a more rugged, less visited side of Greece. They're actively encouraging people to engage with the whole landscape, not just the ancient ruins.
Okay, interesting. Now, for a complete change of scene, Morocco. Intense colors, flavors, the lure of the desert.
Morocco is definitely a sensory overload, in the best possible way. You can't talk about it without picturing the souks in Marrakech just bursting with energy, sounds, smells, colors, or the ancient Medinas, especially in Fez, these incredible labyrinthine old cities where life and traditional crafts feel like they haven't changed for centuries.
That sounds amazing.
And then you have the dramatic contrast of the Sahara Desert. The silence, the vastness, those incredible dunes, that duality between the intense cities and the empty desert is a huge part of the appeal.
And the food is a highlight too, right? Tagines, spices.
Though Moroccan cuisine is fantastic. Rich, complex flavors, lots of spices, slow-cooked dishes, very traditional. And the trend for 2026, the sources point to an expected rise in cultural tourism and specifically desert adventures.
Okay, so what do these desert adventures look like? More than just a quick camel ride?
Definitely more involved.
Yeah.
We're talking about guided, multi-day camel tracks, maybe staying overnight in traditional Bedouin-style camps, sometimes quite luxurious, like glamping.
Ah, glamping in the Sahara.
Exactly. Plus, opportunities for deeper dives into traditional Berber culture, music performances around a campfire, learning about local crafts, understanding the history of the desert peoples. It's about experiencing the life and heritage of the Moroccan hinterland, not just sticking to the big cities. That cultural immersion piece is key. Maybe even learning a craft or attending a local celebration if you're lucky.
From the desert sands to tropical shores, let's talk Thailand.
Ah, Thailand. Another place of beautiful contrasts.
Right. You've got the absolute exhilarating chaos of Bangkok. The street food stalls, the river markets, the glittering temples.
Contrasted with the much calmer, more spiritual feel of Chiang Mai up in the northern mountains, with its misty landscapes and elephant sanctuaries.
And then, of course, the islands, Phuket, Koh Samui. Those images of turquoise water and white sand beaches are famous worldwide.
Absolutely idyllic escapes. Thailand has always been brilliant at blending that buzz and energy with total tranquility.
So for 2026, what are the specific highlights driving its popularity according to the sources?
The focus is very much on wellness retreats, targeted ecotourism initiatives, and authentic cultural tours.
Okay, wellness is a big one there.
Huge. Thailand is really leaning into its strengths here. These aren't just generic spa days. They're often highly specialized retreats focusing on traditional Thai massage, mindfulness practices, meditation, healthy cuisine, really catering to travelers prioritizing mental and physical well-being.
So it's synthesizing those global trends we've seen elsewhere.
Perfectly. It's balancing adventure, relaxation, and food discovery, but through structured, responsible options. The ecotourism part is also crucial, often focused on marine conservation or sustainable community projects, trying to counteract some of the impacts of mass tourism from the past. It's exactly what the modern conscious traveler is looking for.
Okay, rounding out this section, we have Switzerland, a name synonymous with, well, precision, luxury, and those breathtaking Alps.
Switzerland delivers that high-end experience very consistently. The Swiss Alps are the star, obviously, offering year-round activities, amazing skiing and snowboarding in winter, incredible hiking and mountaineering in summer, and this is all complemented by sophisticated, clean, efficient cities like Zurich and Geneva.
And scenic travel is a big part of the appeal too, isn't it? The sources mention routes like the Glacier Express. What's special about that? Why is it a deep dive kind of experience?
The Glacier Express isn't just transport. It's designed as a slow travel experience. It's actually famous for being one of the slowest express trains in the world.
Oh!
Because the whole point is the view. It has panoramic windows, and it travels through the absolute heart of the Swiss Alps, crossing hundreds of bridges, going through tunnels, connecting Zermatt and St. Moritz. It's engineered for maximum scenic appreciation. It really appeals to travelers who want comfort, guarantee spectacular views, and appreciate that Swiss precision, delivering a premium nature experience.
And the overall trend for Switzerland in 2026, still focused on that high-end market.
Very much so. It continues its strong reputation for wellness tourism, fine dining, and high-end cultural experiences. It attracts travelers looking for absolute comfort, guaranteed quality, and that blend of structured adventure like skiing or hiking with luxury amenities. While other places might be focusing on developing sustainability, Switzerland is perhaps more focused on refining its already established high-quality offerings, especially its alpine wellness centers that use the clean air and altitude for health benefits.
Okay, so we started this whole deep dive talking about Japan, right? #1 on the list. We talked about that incredible contrast, ancient versus future.
We did.
Now, we want to loop back to Japan for our final section, using a really crucial point from the source material to give you, the listener, that kind of aha moment, the specific insight that can take a trip from just well-planned to truly intentional and maybe unforgettable.
And this is often the most valuable part of these curated lists, isn't it? When they actively guide you away from this super obvious path and towards something more rewarding.
Exactly. So the problem identified in the source is pretty clear. Historically, way too many international visitors just stick to the Tokyo-Kyoto corridor, the Golden Route.
Which is essential, don't get me wrong, you have to see them.
Of course.
Yeah.
But the issue is those places can get incredibly crowded, especially during peak season, and maybe don't always offer the most authentic experience anymore because of that.
Right, they can feel a bit overwhelmed.
So the solution, the hidden gems suggested for 2026, involved actively encouraging travelers to explore Japan's other regions. Specifically, the sources call out Okinawa and Hokkaido.
Okay, two very different options there. Let's start with Okinawa. What's the draw?
Okinawa offers a completely different picture of Japan. Think subtropical islands, stunning beaches, turquoise waters, almost Caribbean vibes in places.
Wow, okay. Tropical Japan.
But the really crucial thing, the reason it's highlighted, is its unique Ryukyu culture.
Ryukyu, that's key.
Absolutely critical to grasp this.
Yeah.
The Ryukyu kingdom was historically independent from mainland Japan for a long time. So its culture, its language, its music, martial arts like karate originated there, the traditional diet, even political traditions, it all remains distinct.
So visiting Okinawa is like experiencing a whole different layer of Japanese culture.
Exactly. It offers this secondary, unique cultural immersion that even people who've been to Japan multiple times might never have experienced if they only stuck to the mainland. A different history, a different feel.
Fascinating. So if Okinawa is the tropical, culturally distinct south, what about Hokkaido way up north? Hokkaido offers, again, a completely different kind of charm, defined by its northern climate. In winter, it's famous for its powder snow, great skiing, and the massive Sapporo Snow Festival, which is incredible.
I've seen pictures of that. The ice sculptures are huge.
They are. But in the warmer months, Hokkaido transforms. Think vast, rolling fields of flowers, incredible national parks for hiking like Daisetsuzan, pristine wilderness. It's a region known for its grand scale, its wide open spaces, and also for its own distinct cuisine. Amazing seafood, high-quality dairy products like butter and cheese, things you don't associate as strongly with mainland Japanese food.
So the benefit here seems really clear. By venturing out to Okinawa or Hokkaido, travelers get to experience Japan beyond that standard, potentially crowded itinerary.
Absolutely. You find unique cultural encounters, different food experiences, different natural landscapes, and likely fewer crowds, offering a more profound, maybe more authentic interaction with Japan's incredible regional diversity and heritage.
This feels like the ultimate insider tip for planning that 2026 Japan trip, doesn't it? It ties right back to that core theme we keep seeing. The informed traveler is now prioritizing authenticity, regional specifics, getting off the beaten track, rather than just collecting famous landmarks.
That's the takeaway. Go deeper. explore the regions. #outro.
Okay, so let's try and pull all of this together. We've covered a lot of ground, 15 really exceptional destinations for 2026 travel. We grouped them into those 4 themes.
Yeah, the culture and gastronomy pillars in Europe and Asia.
Right. Then the wilderness, adventure, and eco-conscious spots like New Zealand, Canada, Iceland.
Followed by the immersion, ancient roots, and wellness destinations like Greece, Morocco, Thailand.
And we finish with that deep dive spotlight on Japan's amazing regional gems, Okinawa and Hokkaido.
Looking across that whole list, the big picture trends for 2026 seem really clear, almost uniform actually. It's impossible to miss. There's this decisive global shift happening towards sustainable tourism, towards deep cultural immersion, and that often specifically means seeking out indigenous or very local experiences, and towards truly authentic regional exploration.
It feels like every continent, every type of destination on that list is actively promoting ways for travelers to be more mindful, more intentional, more respectful.
Yeah, think about it. Italy pushing agriturismo and smaller boutique stays. Canada foregrounding indigenous heritage tours. Thailand developing sophisticated wellness retreats combined with eco-tourism.
These aren't just buzzwords anymore, are they? It feels like concrete changes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They represent real shifts in infrastructure, in policy, in marketing. They're all designed to meet the demands of this modern, informed traveler who, frankly, wants their travel spending to support local communities and sustainable practices, not just big corporations.
Which brings us to our final provocative thought for you, the listener, to maybe mull over as you think about your own future travels.
We've seen how many of these top 15 places, from South Africa working on accessibility to Portugal, showcasing traditional fado, they share these common goals for 2026, centered around managing authenticity, promoting responsibility.
Right, and they're using very specific, often verifiable terms: boutique stays, ecotourism certifications, indigenous-led tours.
So the question this raises is, how will these specialized, high-commitment, responsible travel strategies, the ones being championed by these leading destinations right now, influence how all major travel destinations market themselves and maybe fundamentally restructure what they offer over the next 5 or 10 years?
It's a really interesting question. It feels like responsibility, authenticity, that's becoming the new luxury in travel, isn't it?
It certainly seems to be heading that way.
Well, thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the best of 2026 travel. We really hope you feel a bit more equipped now to plan an unforgettable and maybe more intentional journey wherever you decide to explore next.
Absolutely. Until next time.